All right, well, I don't know if anybody's actually curious about the technology involved in creating a podcast. I suspect, again, since everybody is currently creating their own podcast, that they know. But I can at least show you what it is I have here, and you can sort of decide for yourself if that's right or if that's wrong or if I'm an idiot. Probably some combination of those things. But we start off with how it started at the beginning was with an iPad that I no longer have. This, by the way, is a first generation iPad. It doesn't actually have anything to do with podcast recording. I just like the fact that I still have a working first generation iPad. It still has some games on it that I like to play. And unlike current iPads, iPhones, and Apple Watches, if I unplug this thing, it'll stay charged probably for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. If I unplug it and use it, it'll stay charged for several days. If I unplug my iPad, the battery will be gone probably within the day. Same thing with my watch, same thing with my phone, which is just my way of saying that Steve Jobs was an ass, but he knew how to make stuff and knew what the consumer actually wanted. Take a note, current people working at Apple. All right, you'll see another piece of old Apple technology here. This is an old MacBook Air. I actually have four different old laptops that are Apple-based. And that was the one of the three that I was able to get in the best running order. I have another one that's actually more recent than that, but several of the keys on the keyboard don't work, and I didn't want to have to plug in an external keyboard to it. So I'm just going ahead and using that one. So this is, if I do a Zoom or we used to do Skype back when we started the Get Off My Lawn podcast, but it's mostly Zoom now or Microsoft, whatever it's called, or you get the idea. If I am doing a remote interview, this is what I would use. If I'm playing music, which you've heard already on some of the other videos that I've posted, this is where the music goes. I've got a USB output that goes back into my mixing board. And this is a Mackie mixing board. I will only buy Mackie. I pledged to support them back when I was in college, and they have never steered me wrong. So they're reasonably priced, and they're high quality, and they're durable. You could throw this sucker around like a frisbee and it would probably still work. Record player, which also connects to the audio board in case you want to listen to records. All of this, the output ends up going through something called an iRig. Looks like that guy right there. It should not be sitting on a power supply. I'll move that when it comes time to actually record. And then it goes into my modern day iPad. The keyboard there is an external keyboard that actually does mimic a typewriter, and I enjoy it. So that's where the iPad tends to stay. Microphone is a 635. Headphones are Sennheiser. I really like that brand. Again, discovered them in college. You can get your Beats by Dre. You can get your other $500 headphones, but it has been proven to me over time that what you really need is a set of good quality headphones that works. And cost doesn't matter, brand name doesn't matter. And like I said, those have always served me well, so those are the ones that I continue to use. That's pretty much the setup that I have here. I do have an additional microphone and an additional input in case I do have in-person interviews, which I have done in the past. All of this fits into this handy carrying case that I found in this garage years ago when I organized this garage. It can actually, I think it originally held fishing reels because, that's what you needed. But it works really, really well. I can fit this in it. I can fit all the rest of the technology in there. The only thing that doesn't really fit comfortably is the microphone stand, which I can carry in if I'm doing an interview somewhere else. So I can still be portable. I can still go places and conduct interviews, or I can conduct interviews here in the palatial. We'll do a quick 360 here. So palatial. And we're back. So we can conduct interviews here. At the moment, I've got all of the setup for the podcast on a work table off to the side. I do have a workbench that things were set up on initially, but I actually am doing a lot of projects here this summer that required the use of that workbench. So this can move over if I need to, if I need more space. At the moment, this is very, very compact, probably more than I would want it to be, but it works. It serves its purpose. So this is the tour. Oh, and I've got a cassette deck up there in case you have audio tapes. This is the tour of the technology that I use for the podcast. As I said, initially it was one microphone, one iPad, a set of headphones, and that was what we started off with. And we're building up. So this screen, when I do Zoom interviews, etc., does connect to the big screen up here in case I do want to record it for video purposes. So I can actually have sort of a studio setup if I need it. And yeah, that's what we've got going on here. So we're not unprofessional, but we're not professional. Back in college, the term we used was prosumer. And I think that's pretty much where we are. Is this is somewhere between professional grade and consumer grade technology, and I'm okay with that. So I'm pleased with the quality of the recording that I can do with this setup. So I'm looking forward to doing more of this setup hopefully soon. So thanks for checking in and have a great one. Not just a good one, not just an okay one, but a great one.